Right. So today I want to work a little bit on the second revision of HTTP API. I've just got a couple more things I want to add around the new middleware API. And then once we've finished there, I'm going to switch over to content layer and start we're fleshing that out a bit more. So one of the things I want to get done in HTTP API today is optional middleware. So if we look at if we look at the README, so this new middleware module has been added, which allows you to define middleware in a nice way, which allow you to kind of like for example, here we have a logger middleware. You can specify failure schemas, and also if your middleware provides context to your application. And also you can define security middleware to protect endpoints. So here we have a middleware called authorization, which can fail with an unauthorized error. It will provide the current user to your API. And then you can pass in some like security definitions, which HTTP API will automatically resolve for you. So here it will pull the token from the headers and then pass it to your handlers. When it comes to implementing the middleware, where is it? You can, that's probably a better example. There's our error, there's our middleware definition, and then when you implement it, you just say, you can just grab the error token and then like pass it to one of your services like a repository, and then return the current user. So I want to add an option here called optional. And when you pass optional true, if this middleware fails, like if it fails to authorize the current user, then the API endpoints will still run, but the current user just won't be supplied. So we'll take a stab at implementing that today. I think the first place to start is in this module. Where is our definition? Here's the tag. All right, so we're currently using overloads. Do we want to keep that? Yeah, I think so. So we want to add optional here, Boolean. So if optional is set to true, then this middleware will not provide anything. Maybe let's just rename this for clarity. So I here is what the middleware will provide to your application. I'll just rename that to provides because it's a bit clearer. Oops. And then provides. That looks a bit better. So because we need to detect if this is true or not, we need to assign this to a generic. And we'll do the same for security middleware. And then we'll make this a const generic extends boolean equaling it defaults to false. This. And then we'll copy paste this down here. And then where is it? Oh, there it is. Right, we'll get, and then for the implementation, yeah, let's do that. And I think we're going to need this later on, so we should add it to the tag itself as well. Read only optional boolean. That's wait here too. And that is so when we're implementing the server, we can then branch out to the different behavior. Yeah, nice. Okay, we need to use this here in the types as well. So if Boolean is true, then we will provide nothing. So if optional extends true, never, otherwise provides. And I guess technically the same with the error, because if it's optional, then a failure will never reach your handlers. And then we'll do the same for the security one. Optional extends true, never, and then same for failure. Nice. I think that's all we need at the type level. And now let's have a look at the runtime behavior. And for that, we need to go to the API builder module and look at make route. Oh no, we need to look at apply middleware. So this is where the middleware is applied. So it's like iterating over a map of the tags and the handlers. Okay. So if we go if entry dot tag dot optional, yes. So we need to do an optional provide here. I guess we do effect.match on the effect. I think we'll keep defects as defects. So if this fails, if the middleware fails with a defect, then we'll let that pass through. But if it's a normal error, then we'll rescue. So on failure, we just want to, this needs to be match effect. No failure, we'll just run the handler like usual. On success value. And then we'll do provide service to the handler. And for this one, I guess we just do the same. I know what we can do. So if effect.tag, entry.tag. So if this middleware provides something, then we'll use this. Otherwise, we ignore the output and just run the handler. Type error, and I think that's all we need. So I guess we should try this out. We go to our sample. Let's make an optional middleware. I guess if we do optional through here, indication dot provides. Yeah, provides never. And we should, in our handlers where we use current user, get a type error because it no longer is explicitly added. We look at this layer, yeah, current user is there. So optional is working. So what we can do here instead is go effect dot service option current user. Effect dot map option dot match option from effect match. There's no user, do that. If on some, sure. I know, we'll just do identity here. No errors. If we run this, what happens? Nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Okay. Watch API example. So first we'll just make sure it is hitting the middleware. So we should be hitting this branch. Console is not long. This. Oh, yeah. And then I guess we'll add one for this failure branch. Console.log failure. Okay, so it's hitting. Why is it in a loop? I see. So because we're assigning to handler, it's performing a CPU bound loop. Nice. Good old recursion for you. So I guess we combine that first to just previous handler. Previous equals handler. Previous. Alright, I think that should work now. Great, that works. So that's what happens if you hit the successful branch. So to test the optional behavior, instead of succeeding here, we'll fail with a new this error. What's complaining about? Let's see. So it looks like we can't set the error to never here. Then otherwise your middleware can't fail. Uh, what can we do? I guess on the class we can add another generic. Or optional. We move optional to here. And then move out the type level logic. Optional here. So at the moment we're doing all this optional is true stuff here, but we moved it to the tag class itself. So optional, and then do the same for this one. So failure here will be the type that is removed from the failure that will be added to the client methods, so you know what type of failures the API will add. We add something like failure handlers. And then here we can do the optional check. Extends true, never. Great. So this failure type will be used to determine what errors will reach the end of your API. And this type will be used to work out what failures your handlers can fail with. And then to make it consistent, I'll just rename this to provides. And then let's just copy this down to our security version. Okay. And one thing I haven't thought about actually is how this will affect the open API schema. So I'll just do that now while it's on my mind. So if the middleware is optional, we don't want to add the failures to the handlers, or sorry, to the API spec. Actually, that is done in well, actually, we can do that here. Yeah, we can go options dot optional equals true, or yeah, there we go. So if optional is true, we add a failure schema of never, otherwise we add the failure schema. And we need to do the same. Oh no, we don't. There's only one tag constructor. So that should handle the back side of things. So now we need to use this new type for our handlers. Mm. If we create a new thing for extracting it, failure. Handlers. Great. Alright. Here are handlers, and this is the error that will reach the client. Okay. Maybe if we work backwards from the handlers. Era of name. Or maybe we do the client first. What does the client do here? Client method. It just uses the error, which is fine, I think. Okay, so let's here handlers. So this is so we can pull the errors out of the context type. And we need to add them to our handlers. Error with name. Where else is this used? Used in handle raw. Okay. Hmm. Maybe we can set it here. Error handlers. Uh, I need to pull that out of the requirements. Hmm. Seems like we're doing some double handling here. We go back to API Builder and the handlers. Mhm. I think we can simplify this a bit. So currently The errors are added here. I think tracking context is fine. But maybe if instead we track the API and the group instead. Remove that. And then our handler can constrain the error type. Yeah, I think that will work better. So we need to add all the possible errors here. Yeah. Provided. So here we can add, here we need to extract what the middleware is providing. Alright, first we need to tackle this error thing. Maybe we create a type helper for that. Probably the best place for it is HTTP API. And this type helper will need to get all the possible error types for an endpoint, group, and API spec. So all the possible errors a handler could fail with. Handler name. Maybe we can move it to here. Oh, no. And the endpoint extends any. And here we have the endpoint, so I guess we can just go error handlers endpoint plus the additional errors from the group and API. So how are we extracting errors for our group? Group error. Yeah, I think for the group we need to add an error for our handlers as well. Or error handlers extractor. Handlers. Error or HTTP API middleware dot error handlers or extract error handlers from the requirements. Alright, and then we need to start using it. I guess we need one for HTTP API too. Okay. Hmm. That'd be easier just to track the errors and provided instead of the group in API. So then we're not passing around a bunch of stuff. Not sure I like this ordering. Yeah, but it's okay. Here is, yeah, provided. We provided. Okay. And now we need to do our error handlers thing. We'll extract all the errors. Maybe we'll just take this over. And here we take any group. Group extends HTTP API group any, and this will literally be error handlers API or HTTP API group error handlers group. So this will extract all the handler error types for the API in a group. And we need to do the same thing for provided. Text is there, great. Rex provides from the context of the API. And then provides with group. Oops. Group extends HTTPI group. And we can take any group here. This is what we want, but provides doesn't exist yet. And I think for the group version, we can just base it off this. Group extends any. Nice. So I think we have our type helpers now. So when we create our handlers, we just need to pass in those new generics. And we also need to update the usage of this handlers type to use these 4 generics now. Error provides requirements. Uh, we need to add any here, make handlers, so this will change. Well, it will. Error provides That's an internal API. Mhm. Maybe we don't need those helpers. Let's do that anyway. So the first generic we need to pass here is all of our errors. Error handlers with group. Uh, groups. It should be API group with name, groups, name. Hmm. I feel like we can simplify this a bit. What's the third generic again? Requirements. At this point, uh, what do we need here? We need maybe if we move this craziness here. Handlers from group. So we will need the API. API error. Handlers from the API requirements. And then the errors from the group. And then we need the provides. So we go where extract provides from the API requirements. Okay. And then the third generic is the requirements. So here we add the API requirements. Do we do that there? No, we don't. They will be provided to the API layer. Our error schema has requirements. They probably should be extracted here. Error schema. Maybe here we need to extract some context. So if we have requirements in our error schema, they probably should be provided to this layer. Hmm. Yeah, that seems better. And here we can add read-only context. So we need to capture this context here. So if any of our middleware or error schemas use context, we can then use that to pass it along. Now we come back down here. We have this context object. That we use for just the error schemas. Does anything else need it? Now we'll just do it for our error handler. So context is used for middleware. We don't need the middleware here. Yeah, we've already extracted the middleware. Oh yeah, so we can move this. Over here now. Then I think we can remove this now. Let's quickly fix up my tabs. Close this. Builder. Okay. So we go back to our handlers. Each time we handle something, we're excluding provides. We've set the known errors here. So handlers can fail with API level errors and errors from the API level middleware. They can fail with group errors. Yeah, we've already done that. Those are the errors. So for provides, we extract the provides from the API middleware, provides from the group middleware. So for requirements, we don't need this here. We just need the group level requirements, context, group. What's this new provider doing? It's extracting any provides at the endpoint level, which is fine. That's good. Okay. I think that's all we need there. And then we need to do the endpoints. Yeah. Okay. Handlers start from group. In terms of the return type, we just need to make sure the endpoints don't have any, or the handlers don't have any endpoints left. What is RH? Return handlers. So here, return extends handlers dot any. Do we have any type? No. Handlers do have a type ID. Okay. So let's define an interface. Any, and here we just make sure it has the type ID. And then maybe if we add a validate return type, and maybe we can add like a nice error message if you forget to implement a handler. Validate return. Just a bunch of inference here. It provides endpoints. So endpoints extends never. I'm not sure what we want to return from this. So endpoints extends never, then we're good. We've implemented everything. Otherwise, this will be our error message here. Endpoints. Yeah, I guess we need to extract, just need to extract the names somehow. HP API endpoint dot name. Not sure how that will look. So we'll just need to extract the context from the handlers at some point. Not sure if this will work. Let's try it. We're doing some extraction here. Copy paste that. Here we can just use handlers, start context, return. Uh, okay. That means we can set this to never. Because we're already adding it to the layer here. And we've established we don't need the API context here because it's added to the API layer, not the group layer. Just force that type to work. All right, we just need to validate the return type. Oops. And handlers, so validate return. Okay. Will this work? Let's find out. It's not complaining about the error anymore, which is good. If I just replace this with current user, what happens? Should be adding it here. It's not. Okay. What's going on? Impatient dot provides. This equals indication. That looks right. What is handlers here? Let's see what this type is. Will this work? Kind of. Guess one way to do it is just copy this. What am I trying to find out? I want to work out what is being provided. So those two. So current user is this. And current user is there, which is good. It's a nice error message. Endpoint's not handled me. Endpoint's not handled from ID. Endpoint's not handled me. Okay. I think we need to improve that error message quickly. Say endpoint not handled. We just need to work out why current user is, yeah, it's not there anymore. Should it be? Yes, it should be, because we are optional. HTTP API middleware. Oh, it's because we're not doing our optional check. My bad. Earlier, and if optional is true, then it will be schema.never. It's annoying that we're copying this to us. Whatever. And save for security. Right. That should, yep. So we check the type now. Current user is being added because our middleware is optional. And if we delete that, that's being excluded. That's what we like. If we comment out some endpoints and look at our error message, we've got handlers, blah, blah, blah. Endpoint not handled, found by ID. Endpoint not handled, me. That's pretty good. Alright, so we've added our failure, and now we can go back to testing the case where the middleware fails. Okay, but our error is still bubbling. Can we make it optional? No, that's fine. Autocomplete is very good. Why is that? I mean, it's a key in both of the overloads. Right, we get our anonymous user. So it's hitting this branch here, which is what we want. So optional middleware is working. Great. No, we didn't check the error types. So this should be able to not fail with unauthorized. Yep, which is good. Unauthorized isn't there, but it is supported in the handlers, which is good. Wait a second. I don't think we want middleware errors showing up in our handlers, actually. Or normal handlers. We still want it in the middleware itself. Yeah, we don't need this. What was I doing? Middleware doesn't affect handlers. The only thing we want it to show up in is in this interface here. Oops. At least we can simplify. We need to adjust group. And this one. But we still need error with group. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. We do need that. Provides is still good. Let's build. Okay. We'll get rid of that test type. One thing we need to check is with this return thing here, that context used in handlers gets added to the layer. So I just create a random tag here, thing, extends context dot tag thing. Uh, Pick dot tab. Oh, zip left thing. Yep, it does. Good. All right, I think we're good then. That took a bit longer than expected. Great, it's all working. Maybe we'll add a test for optional middleware while we're here. So we're testing normal middleware here. Maybe I'll do that later. Let's clean up our example. I think I'm running out of time to do content layer actually. How long have we been going? An hour and a half. Those, great. At some point I need to update the README. Maybe I can just quickly do that now. I think the new handlers design is much better. Then we get better error messages as well. I think what I'll do is commit this optional. And once I've committed it, I'll try it out in the, I've got like a little test project for HTTP API. Push. And then once we've done that, I think we'll end the stream. I don't really have time to do content layer on this stream. API middleware. So optional. Boolean. Yeah. Yes. Middleware else with an expected error. The request should continue. The provides and the options will not affect the handlers or final error. Optional middleware will not been using optional middleware. Yeah, that's good. And at some point I need to update this README to show actually how to apply middleware to your API. Uh, Maybe I can just do that here. Apply the middleware to user API group. Let's quickly paste this in here. And let's create an API group. Users API. Send HTTP API group. Make users. And then we'll add an endpoint. And then use the middleware. Apply the middleware to the group. Or you can add it to a single endpoint. Great. Paste it in. That's a bit better. README update. Just double check that's built. Yep. All right, let's open up our test project. We'll switch to that latest build. Install. Well, actually, I don't need to use optional middleware in here. but maybe we'll just check that everything type checks fine. No, it doesn't type check. Okay. What are the issues? This is the test file. Why is that complaining? Alright, this should be all good. Yep. I'm not sure why that's complaining. We'll just try our next run. But is going. We just run the server. And I'm just going to pull open the docs. Everything still looks good there. I guess one thing we can check is if we make the middleware optional that we get type errors. So in accounts, HTTP. So here's our middleware. We go option. Okay. For some reason, we're not getting autocomplete. I'll look at that later. Might need to move to a single overload with a union of options. Type unauthorized assignable to yeah. Oh yeah. So we still need to add unauthorized errors to the right places. Which is a correct type error. Okay, this fixes it. Um, yeah, and it is correctly adding current user here, which is what we want. Cool, so that works. We'll check the other APIs. Well, maybe we'll just double check that improved error message while we're here. Still kind of get a wall of types, but you get this message here, endpoint not handled, find by ID. I feel like this should be adding unauthorized errors. And I haven't added a schema for unauthorized, so it should be complaining. But yeah, so unauthorized is in the expected error types. Am I adding it to the top level API? No. How's it getting in there? API error. There's never. Root error. It's getting into the group. We'll have a look in here. Groups API dot error schema. Unauthorized is in there. Uh, yeah. Okay. So that should work. If I remove that now. Yeah. Hmm. I guess that's fine. Because if you add a failure schema to a middleware, it gets added to the entire group anyway. Okay. Let's make that optional again. Maybe I'll try to get autocomplete to work and then we'll call it a day. First up, does it work here? Yeah. Wasn't that shut down? Still shutting down. Kill -9. See you later. So the options weren't working for our constructor here. Okay. If we use a union instead, declare namespace tag class. We add an options union. Well, I guess it doesn't need to be a union. It just needs to be a partial interface. And I think we can inline it just so when you're looking at the signature, you can see all the options. Options, extends, and then we paste that here. Boolean. Schema. Oh. We tag of any. Security will be an HTTP security. And I think here we just need to do like a tag class from options helper. I just comment this out now. So tag classes will share some common fields, which is the constructor type. Hmm. Options extends read-only security. So for security branch, we need to extract security record provides an E. So the security bit is easy because we can just do options security. Yeah. So we need a way of extracting provides. So if we go create our namespace, and then we add a type helper for extracting provides from options. Identifier. Service. We also need to extract the failure. So if the failure extends schema.all, then we will return the schema. Otherwise, it'll be type of schema.ever. Yep. Schema.type, failure schema options. Rich. All right, we've got our type helpers. We need to start using them. So our options have security. We're in this branch. We need security provides is the service. It'll be void there. So we haven't provided anything. The effect should return void service. That's wrong. Tag class. Rich. Optional. So we need to head to optional as well. Tag class optional options. Since true, never. We're in the wrong place. Otherwise, tag class provides. And the failure type. Cool. And the tag service. Yeah, but we can copy this for the other branch. Got quite a bit of duplication here. Well, the only thing changing is the service. So maybe we can extract this out into our type helpers down here. And then maybe we call it base. And you need to pass in the service and the options and the name. So this would be our service. itself too. Enough of it. Okay. So we still need to add the security type. But here we can use our new helper tag class dot base. Provides service and failure. Yep. And then we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. So what else are we missing here? Security is options. Security. Into the base, we add the failure schema and the provides and the type ID. Optional. What were we doing before? Optional. Or provides. Tag. Okay. Service. Okay. And then the failure schema. But we still need to simplify. Where were we using simplify before? In the tag. Yeah. It's just ensuring that when we define a middleware, it is easy to look at, or easy to kind of just work out what you should be implementing. What was it planning about? Security and not compatible. Yeah, there we go. Let's check our example, make sure it's still working. Not getting autocomplete though. Interesting. Why isn't that working? Just gonna check VS Code really quick. Okay, it looks like it's because the options are optional and we have a default. What happens if we do that? There it is. But if we delete the options altogether, what does it look like? Words. Put a tag of never void, which is right. Failure. Never. I think failure in this case should be. Oh yeah, that should be schema. Schema.never. What else do I need to check? Optional. False. Good. It looks like this is all working. Now, if I check the types, authentication not provides, should be never, and then the service, yep. Failure should be never, and if I remove optional, it should be unauthorized, yep. Optional, true, false, correct. And if I make it optional, we should see the current user in here. Yep. And if I remove optional, everything should type check. Okay. Right. I think I will call it a day there. And we'll commit that. And the commit message will be improve HTTP middleware autocomplete. Push. Right. We'll finish up there. No content layer today because we've been going for quite a while. But maybe next week we'll take a look at content layer. But for now, we'll call it a day. See you, everyone.